Hello, I am Diego Cardoso and I am applying for the back development vacancy. I am 23 years old. I was born in Mexico City, but I moved to a very close by town that it's called Toluca. I was studying mechatronical engineering in the best Mexican private school in Mexico that it's called Tecnológico de Monterrey. I was studying mechatronical engineering, that is basically three majors combined, the mechanical, electronical, and software engineer combined. You don't get to see actually the 100% of these majors. Let's see, if you see in a mechatronical engineer major, you see the 100% of the mechanical process. As a mechatronical engineer, you only see 70%. So the first 4 years of my major basically is studying the 70% of these three majors: mechatronical, electronical, and software engineering. Then I'm proud to announce that I was part of the double degree program. That is an agreement between the German and Mexican government aiming to improve the educational skills of Mexico and also the social working environment of Mexico. How does it work? Basically, these 4 years I study here in Mexico, and the last year, which is my specialization, so I get to choose in which major I specialize on. It could be mechanical, electronical, or software engineer. I choose software engineering, programming, and then I have to make my internship and my thesis in that last year or that last part, which is the double degree program that based on my specialty on what I choose, I get to get a double another degree in Germany. So I choose Maschinenbau und Informatik, that is in German, that is basically software engineer with a little bit of mechanical engineering. So I will be a mechatronical and a software and mechanical engineer, have 2 degrees, one from Mexico and one from Germany. The first, it was in total 3 semesters that I was there in Germany. The first semester I was studying my specialty, which was software engineering. The second and third, which was the last year, I was working for Volkswagen, first as an internship, then as my thesis. The internship, I was in charge of making the code of a microcontroller of an IoT device that was made to reduce energy wastes. So basically, energy cost in the Volkswagen offices. I was working in Volkswagen Wolfsburg, the headquarters of the Volkswagen Group. Every company owned by Volkswagen was there, Lamborghini, Bentley, Audi, Bugatti was there. And I was working for the group itself in the IT department. I was in charge to make the code of this microcontroller to get the air composition. So basically, it was the temperature, humidity, CO2, volatile gas compounds, and all of this was stored in an S3 bucket of AWS, the Amazon Web Services. Everything was done by AWS. I work in a code pipeline and the AWS IDE, that it's Cloud9, and the connection was through IoT AWS Managed Core. And I was coding the encryption connection to the AWS by a certification made in C, also by me, and everything was stored in an S3 bucket. And then the last part, the product was a completely successful product. We were asked to get 100 devices. Everything was, the code was done for me by me, and then the thesis was to get an algorithm capable of counting the people inside an office only by the air composition. I didn't make an artificial intelligence, but almost, because artificial intelligence is based on the third level of maximum code, that it will be deep learning, machine learning, then deep learning, and then artificial intelligence. I didn't reach the artificial intelligence level, but almost. I was making the machine and deep learning algorithm in PyTorch, in Python, and it was a successfully proven code. The algorithm was capable of counting how many people were inside with an accuracy of almost 86%. So it was completely successful. And it was also everything made in AWS. I also made an AWS API with the Lambda function in order to get the data in real time. And everything was done also by me. Then I am here, back to Mexico. My main aim is to finally get to NASA or SpaceX. I know they only hire native people because it's a government dependency, but that doesn't mean that they haven't been foreign people inside NASA or SpaceX. You just have to be extremely good in what you are doing. So after this, I want to earn some money by my own, stop depending on my parents' money, and then study my master degree in München, which is the best university in Germany, and then start learning Japanese so I can study in my master, another master in Tokyo. So basically, I want to jump from the best schools in each country. So the best school here in Mexico, private school. Then I want to study in München, the best university in Germany, and then the best university in Japan, that it's the Tokyo one. And then finally, if that's not enough, to get into the NASA or SpaceX, so they can give me my nationality. Maybe I will study my another master's degree or maybe my PhD degree in MIT. I hope that my knowledge prior to this will be enough with the Tokyo and German skills to get into the MIT and then to the NASA or SpaceX. So I consider myself extremely intelligent, innovative, problem solver. I can speak German a little bit, I will say higher than B2, a very fluently English. I think I downgrade my English level actually, being there in Germany because there's no native English speakers. So when I start speaking a little bit faster, they all obviously will tell me that stop and start slowing my speaking and my thoughts. But in general, at the end, I was almost 100% speaking German and listening to German instructions, so that doesn't matter at the end. But that's basically me, and I would lovely join your team of software engineering. I think I am very familiar with everything of the AWS interface. I have made or code in a lot of protocols, Node.js, Next.js, MQTT, I don't know. Basically, my specialization in software engineer has given me enough skills in order to develop any kind of program or code that I want to, basically. But in my cultural aspect, I am a Mexican. I have learned a lot of German culture because I would say they are a lot more responsible. I think the dedication that the average German gave to its hobby or its life, it's extremely high. The standards are extremely high. The requirements are extremely large. The process, but I think I have managed myself very well, and I would say I'm keep my interest in the German culture because I want to go back sometime, but also in the Japanese culture and American culture. I think it has been a part of me since I was a very little guy. I mean, Mexico and the US, I think they share a lot of cultural movement, but nevertheless, I also love the US culture. So I will be very happy to join your team, and I hope I get to hear from you very soon.